Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is McPato and this is a how-to guide for installing a hard drive in your laptop. In my particular case, the laptop is a Dell Inspiron 7000 series, specifically the gaming model. But this could very well apply to other Dell or other manufacturers' laptops as well. In my laptop's particular case, it comes with an SSD installed in an M.2 socket. It is running in SATA mode, not in PCI Express mode, but still quite fast. So very happy with that. Won't be changing that today. We'll be instead installing a hard drive for added storage. You may have seen my previous video where I showed you how to format a PlayStation 4 hard drive for use in a laptop. That was why I did that. So I'll be installing that drive in that laptop today for you guys. When I'm done with the actual installation, we'll cover quickly again the steps for formatting either whether it's a new drive which has never been formatted, or if you were using an old drive that's maybe using a different allocation table or different file system, how to start fresh basically and format that. Unless you don't want to format it and it's already formatted for your particular operating system, then certainly the files that are on there would be accessible for you. For example, music library, videos, games, whatever. That would all function once it's connected. You could also install a SATA drive using the same method in the same model laptop. Again, whether your particular laptop would support a SATA drive, I would say for most of you, yes. If not, it's an older laptop. But anyway, let's get right into it. I just want to make a short video here for you guys. So we're going to jump into the video, the how-to part of this. And then we'll come back and I'll go through the software for formatting your drive in Windows.
All right, so here we have our laptop, which we're going to install a hard drive into. In my case, as I've mentioned before, it's a Dell Inspiron 7000 gaming series. These laptops are, in my opinion, very, very well made, and they do include you have the option to either have an included M.2 SSD or a hard drive installed. If you go with the SSD option, they do give you the cable and the bracket and the space, obviously, to install your hard drive. So obviously this is the top of the hard drive, or top of the laptop. First thing we're going to do is turn it over. Okay, there we are. And you'll see here that I've covered my service tag and serial number. And that's just obviously to protect myself. So in the case of this particular laptop, there's just the one screw to undo, which is right here. Now that screw is captive, so it's never going to come out. Your laptop may be different depending on the model. But once it's loosened, that's all you need to do. Then you would take a small pry tool such as this one. And find an area where you can pry up and just pop it up, going all around the exterior of your laptop. And once you get most of them off, it'll just come off. Now you will see that I have already installed the laptop in the computer. That is because I needed it for a project I was working on before I made the video. But I'll still go through all the steps with you guys as far as what you need. And as I've mentioned, Dell does include the bracket. Certain other companies might not. And you will, however, need one thing, and that's small screws. I'm not sure if you guys can see the detail here, but basically, if you have small Phillips head screws with a fairly fine thread, which would have been included with your motherboard possibly, or your case when you guys So if you have your case box or motherboard box, you may have some small screws that came with it. You'll need 4 of those to install the brackets onto your drive. So I'll just remove it for you to show you how to attach the bracket. There's just the 4 screws on the top to remove. And then it's just a matter of prying the drive up. Okay, so when the drive is not installed, basically these brackets are in place inside the laptop, and it's just empty like this with your SATA cable taped down here. Very well done by Dell. It's very considerate of them to include the cable as well as the bracket. Like I said, other companies don't necessarily provide those, so that's good of Dell to do. Here you can see your bracket, and all I had to do was attach 2 small screws. Initially I put it in the front hole. What ended up happening is it sat too far forward or back, and these little pinholes here wouldn't line up. So I just moved it to the second hole. But it says here you need M3 by 3 screws. I guess that's what these are. So if you're going to buy some, it says here M3 by 3, and you'd need 4 of those. And again, there's a notch here where your cabling has to fit, so it really only goes in the one way. That's why it's upside down, but when you flip it over, it's right side up. Okay, so we're going to put it back in as if we were just installing it for the first time. Just be cognizant of this cable. It's very fragile, so don't pinch it or bend it in a weird way. Well, that's pretty weird there, but what I mean is like under something or where it could get cut or damaged. All right, so that again is in place. These little pinholes will line up, and then you simply put in the screws, put the cover on, and put the screw back in. Once you're done that, I'll cover what you need to do in just a moment.
Alright guys, I'm going to include a link to this website in the description below. Obviously, if you have a brand new hard drive, things are going to look a little bit different than what I'm going to show you on my system. I'll just explain that quickly for you. But effectively, you're going to need to open something in Windows called Disk Management. There's a couple of different ways. This article or this web page here explains how to do that in the different versions of Windows. We're using Windows 10, or I'm using Windows 10. So for example, I could just copy this here or type it, whatever's easier and quicker for you, and just paste it down here in Cortana. It will bring it up right here for you as the best option. You click on it, and then I had it running already, so it's down here actually at the bottom for me. This is your disk management utility. It shows you all the disks you have in your system, and it gives you some information. So you can see here that my C drive, disk 0, is 465 gigabytes, which is actually sold as a 500 gigabyte drive. That's a separate issue for a separate day, but that is the correct drive. You're going to notice your drive's always going to be smaller in this utility than what you purchased. This one here is a 1 terabyte, and this one here is a 2 terabyte, but they again show up as smaller than they are. These drives are all formatted, and they're all currently healthy partitions. If you see something different than what I have here, don't worry about it. it's just probably a black bar. It'll say unallocated space, and to change that to a functioning partition, just follow the following steps. All you need to do in order to change the drive particulars, if you will, is select the drive you wanted to work on. Just make sure if you've added a laptop or a hard drive to your laptop that you're not formatting, obviously, your drive with Windows. So let's say that I had just installed this this drive here, drive disk 1. So you would right-click on it, and in there you're going to find different options. So we would want to format it, let's say. We click Format, and then it would ask us what label we wanted to give it, what type of file system. If you're using Windows 10, you're going to want to use NTFS. Anything really from Windows XP and up, I believe you're going to want to go with NTFS. And for allocation size unit, I would leave it to default. You can either select Perform a quick format, or you can select also enable file and folder compression. That's not an option we care about, but we do care about a quick format. You would then click OK. It would run through the format, and then you would see the healthy primary partition or healthy partition, whatever it is. And you can actually go in and split up a drive into different partitions depending on your needs, and you could assign different letters to the different partitions, different labels, what have you. But that's going to conclude this video. Hopefully you found it helpful, and if you did, please leave me a like down below. And if you really liked the video, consider subscribing. I will be doing a full review on my Dell Inspiron 15 7000 gaming series, a laptop, in the next little bit. And I have a lot of other great videos planned for the next couple months, as well as the rest of the year. So again, thank you for tuning in. I hope this video was helpful for you, and hope to see you again. With that, I'll say goodbye.